Now, I don't know if I was just talking to myself the whole time. So Gaye DeRusso with Majestic rider on copper. I'm going to make it shorter this time. This is the Marchador cross, so this is his flat walk. When I'm doing the flat walk, I just alternate my legs to lengthen his stride. When I want the foxtrot, I squeeze with both legs and go just a little faster. And then I get ready to half halt if I feel like getting trotty. And I kind of sit back on my seat pockets. Don't tuck their head in too much. If you do, that makes them trottier, especially in the arena. So you want to keep their head a little bit higher. And you should feel a soft, pleasant bounce in the saddle, kind of like you're sitting on a quarter horse that has a very nice jog. That's what it should feel like to you. You shouldn't feel a side-to-side motion. If you do, that's more likely a step pace, okay? So now I'm going to ask him to do a saddle gait. He didn't know how before, so I got to help him. So again, he's foxtrotting, so to change it, we're going from diagonal to lateral. What I'm going to do is pop his head up, sit back, tuck my butt underneath me, kind of like a dog tucks its tail underneath itself when it's scared, and then I'm going to hit the gas. I usually tap him twice with my leg. That's just my made-up cue. Now he's just a little bouncy, so I'm going to sit back more and push down on the stirrups. And I'm pushing the stirrups kind of out in front of me. I'm getting more in that chair seat that you see in my body position video. See him change? Oh, he's moving now, isn't he? Now he likes to canter because he knew how to do that, and that's easier than doing the saddle gait. So at times he'll try to canter. I just slide the bit across his tongue to tell him no, and I sit back. Then the other thing I'm doing, I'm kind of wiggling my body. I don't know if you can see him down there. I wiggle my body, try to get him into my rhythm. So right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. And I push my feet kind of out in front of me, and I step on the ball of my foot on the stirrup, right, left, right, left, right, left. Or you could do left, right, left, right, left, right. So either one is fine. Okay, whoa. And then stop when they're doing the right thing, okay? So he's doing it really well. He hasn't done this a ton before, and because I was working on conditioning, but now I know he can do it, so I'm doing it. So that's how I get their gait. Again, when you read my articles, which frame, which gait, which footing, which gait, where do you put their head, up or down? It all makes a difference. We want them to engage and carry themselves in a neutral frame once they're conditioned and good. But in the meantime, you have to help them to get there. So the pacey ones, you get them to relax their neck and back by lowering it more. But you might have to do lateral work like leg yield serpentines and those things to separate the legs. The trotty ones, you're going to bring their heads up more. Usually bring it up to my chest, so you're going to see me pick my hands up. If they keep putting their head down, I kind of pop it up, and then I hit the gas. So I hit the, put leg on them, and then alternate my leg rhythm on my stirrups, pushing down one and then the other, okay? So that's how I did it with him. Now we're going to take him out on the trail. So lots of horses, when they come, they make friends, and once they make friends, and you try to take them out by themselves, you know what they do? They act like their buddy sour. They suck back a little bit. Lots of horses do that, and your horse can do that too, and then all of a sudden it becomes very buddy sour if you don't catch that. So anytime you're taking your horse out and he's friendly with the other horses, like he got a girlfriend now, right? You got Minnie, and he's been hanging out with her. You feel him suck back a little bit, you just hit him with your legs or hit him with a stick like, no, 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 you got a job to do. Let's go do that job. So see, he's pretty easy. He went out pretty easy. But that makes a horse more, to me, more an intermediate horse, a beginner horse, which I was talking about in the other video. Should just go out. They won't test you as much. And then as you get better, you get horses like this that are super fun, but they might test you a little bit here and there. And that test is going to teach you, if you have good trainers, someone to help you, to show you what to do, so you learn to ride better. Because if you ride the beginner horse forever, well, they'll take care of you, but that's your time to practice, and then it's time to get a little bit harder horse so you can help your skills get better. So we're going to duck under this tree. You never know where that stump one's hanging out. Okay. And when you're leaving, remember, go out forward, so push them. He's a follower, so I know I'm going to have to push him. He's not like a lead horse. So those followers are going to be like, are you strong enough? Are you my leader? And I'm like, yeah, I am. Let's do it. Let's do it, buddy. So you want to lead with some energy. So we're going to do his little foxtrot because it's not real fast and it's fun. Now you'll see him kind of looking around, so when he does that, I just close my hand on the other rein. But he's not being spooky or goofy or anything like that. He's quite fun. So it's cool when you have a horse that can do different gaits, diagonal and lateral, because the diagonal gait is very sure-footed. So when you have bad footing like this, where things are sticking up and you might catch their feet on it, that foxtrot is going to be more sure-footed than that saddle gait. Okay, so that's what I'm going to choose to do. And if you leave it up to the horse, that's usually what they will do. Or if they can trot, they might start trotting because they're like, that's the easiest of all. So home's to the left, we're going to the right. Copper was like, oh, boo. Did you see him speed up? And then I turned right and he's like, oh. Exactly. So not hard to get out here, not difficult, but not a beginner horse. Okay. So now we're foxtrotting up the hill. Now they got some new scarecrows up here since he's been up here, so we'll see what he does. So when you know things are out here, or you're going out by yourself, you shorten your reins up, you get ready. Sit back, widen your hands, look around. There's scarecrows on the left. Now it might not blow until we get up here. There's scarecrows up there. Kind of look like ghosts, right? So now he's looking a little bit. So I'm like, come on. I'm half halting on my right rein, squeezing and relaxing, trying to get his attention on me. I'm kind of bumping him with my right leg, and I'm sitting back. I'm ready in case he gets scared, because of course he could get scared. He's a prey animal. Okay, now we're past it. So now let's go faster. So the easiest thing to do would be a canter. Canter. Sometimes it's hard to saddle gait uphill, especially when a horse is new at it. So saddle gait on the flat. That's what you'll see in most of the videos. They're saddle gating and racking. It's a flat. Now, of course, they can do it in time. They can do it uphill, but they got to be in condition to do that. So for him right now, he's getting in condition with these gaits. It's easier just to foxtrot. So now we're going to go up these steps. So he's looking a little bit like what's over there. All the horses do. Who knows if the mountain lion thing is right up there, because that's where they always look. But I know who's really spooky and who's not, because they all look up there. But some of them go running backwards when they get up here. Those are the spooky ones. The ones that look, oh, who cares? Just acknowledge that they're looking at something and start riding. Okay? All riding for a reason. So he's quite good, not trying to turn home, not trying to do anything bad. So now we're going to go through that narrow part on our trails. Again, it can test if they're sure-footed. It's better to go through a little faster than too slow, because when they get slow, sometimes gaited horses wobble and then they hit the sides of things. So I don't want to run through here, but I want to move a little bit. So you'll see he's looking around, he's giving the signals, his ears are forward. He's like, don't tell him what I'm doing. His head's up a little bit, so he's alert. But he is not a lead horse, so he's not totally, you know, super brave right now. I'm pushing him, and he's like, okay, as long as you're brave, I'm brave. But see, this would not be a good horse if somebody's scared, somebody who's lost their confidence, unless you're going to work it up in the arena first. But those people, I get horses that ignore them usually, especially if they're not willing to work on it. I go, we just need to get you a horse maybe with 3 legs. Then they can't run away. It's much harder. They just hop. So with horses like this, he's a pretty easy ride. And so some people would think he's a beginner, but he's not. Because he needs someone to push him, and someone who's paying attention, and someone who knows what they're doing. And someone who wants to ride. He's got energy. So he's not a horse that should just sit in his stall and take a mile ride once a week. No, this is a fun horse. Ride him miles, 10 miles. Ride him 3-5 times a week. He's an easy keeper, which is great. So you don't got to feed him a lot, but you got to exercise him so he doesn't get heavy. Okay? So that kind of horse, I think, is great. They're cheap because you don't have to feed them a lot. You get to ride them a lot. Yeah, it's lots of fun. But you do got to pay attention and not ride like this in the beginning. I don't know where I am. Don't spook at anything. Don't scare me, okay? That's not the way to do it. Shorten the reins so they're not looking around. That's what most horses do when you let go of the reins in the beginning. So take the reins in the beginning, ride them, and then on the way home you can do that. All right, so let's go a little faster. Let's try our saddle gait. Now he wouldn't just go, he got stuck in his foxtrot right there, and I bumped him a little hard with my left leg, and he put his head up, and he went right into his saddle gait. But see, if I didn't know to try that, it'd still be foxtrotting. So sometimes you just gotta get them so they move a little bit sideways. That's why I hit them hard with my leg. I'm like, pay attention, but move over and go faster at the same time, and that'll get them out of the trotty gait or out of the foxtrot and get them more lateral. So isn't it weird that when your horse is pacey, you do lateral movements, leg yield, serpentine, shoulder in, haunches in, stuff like that. And when your horse is trotty, you can do the same thing. And a lot of times it helps, but you got to have their head up. So pacey, do it with their head down. Trotty, do it with their head up. And then the other little trick with the trotty horses is then bend them. He's like, I'm going to see you so you can't tell anybody. Bend them. So that means when I pick his head up, I might turn it to the right. And if that doesn't work, I might turn it to the left. Because that little bend makes them go lateral. You'll see when you lunge them, they'll do it on their own. Like people will look at our horses when we're lunging and they're like, what's wrong with them? I go, nothing. Just lateral. So he's lunging with his head, looking outside the circle, and that's just them. Okay? Now some don't do that, but some do. Ooh, Copper. Copper needs to get sold because I like him too much. I'm having too much fun riding them, and it makes me always want to keep them, and that's how I end up keeping these horses too long and going broke. So now we're cantering. See how easily he did that? He went from lateral to cantering. Watch, I'm going to throw my hands away. See, he's getting faster, but not crazy. So he's fun, but he's not like a Looney Tune. Some of those horses you think are fun, you find out are loony, and then they're not so fun anymore. So he's got some energy. He's forward, you know, he will go forward, but look, he's going slow now. And he can go fast. You don't want to make him nuts and start like beating him up and galloping him all over. Then he'll turn into a nut shop. But you do want to move out, go faster, go slower, make him do different things, make him do different gaits, and just make that horse the best horse he could ever be. But that's why I like Copper. He tests a little bit, so he'll, you know, he makes you think a little bit. But he's really pretty simple. If you've taken lessons and have a clue about horses. Sorry. I know some of you are really new and you're like, how is that simple? It is in time. That's why lessons help. They get you there much, much faster. Now, he's stopping to go to the bathroom, which is okay because I had him going pretty fast for a bit and we're alone. So that's the other part I forgot to mention. We're all alone. So he's a follower horse, so he needs a leader to lead him and make him braver. Just like some of your friends are followers, you know. And you just grab their hand and you're like, come on, let's go into this party. They don't know us. We'll just sneak in. But you need that friend to pull you along so you can have fun. Okay, so this is his foxtrot again. So now, again, I'm not going to let him go on a totally loose rein or anything until we're on our way home. So if you're making a loop or something like that, for the first, I'd say half hour to an hour, you keep your reins short, okay? And then after that, you can go on a looser rein if they're being good, but then anytime that horse picks his head up and those ears go forward or back, something's coming, you shorten up and get ready for it. Okay? So, all right, we're going to save some battery. All right, so now we got another hill. Okay? When you're riding, don't canter every hill. It's fun, right? But you make your horse nuts, and then every time they see a hill, they start rearing up at the bottom if you don't let them go or your friends take off. So alternate. So this is steep. This is going to be hard. But we're going to try not to canter. He can do any gait he wants. I'm not going to be picky right now. He's foxtrotting. Because again, it would be hard to do a saddle gait up this. Because he's driving with his back end. Good job. So change it up so you don't make your horses crazy. If you go with people canter every hill, say, hey, why don't we change it up? Let's do something different because you're making our horses nuts. Horses love repetition, so if they know you do something specifically there, you stop there, you gallop there, you gait there, That's what they'll do the whole time, and then they get mad if you don't do it. So if you change it up, they never know what to do, and they actually got to listen to you, and you know, and do what you say. And that's what you're trying to do, is have control. Because when the horse has control, then again their instincts take over in time, and their instincts say run, be safe, don't get eaten. Since they have control, that's exactly what they do. They're like, hang on, Susie. Except you never heard him say that because you don't speak the horse language. So when he said, hang on, Susie, and they take off, you weren't paying attention or hanging on, and off they went, and then you fall off. So you have control, and then you tell the horse, no, 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 don't listen to your instincts, we're fine. It's just a truck behind the tree. And guess what? I'll just give you a job, distract you. And then when we get up there, you'll see it's a truck behind the tree, and then we'll be fine again. It's just horses. Okay? The more you know about them, the more you're like, oh, they become easier and easier the more I learn about what they are naturally. Okay? So it's narrow here. Of course, it's scary. I want to go faster and get by it. So we're going to do a little foxtrot. There we go. That's pretty good. And again with him, because he's trotty, his head position is quite good. I don't want it too low. That's a mistake a lot of trainers and newbies, gaited horses make. You got a trotty one, you keep wanting to tuck his head down, you just make him trot more. So you got to pick it up a little bit. Okay. Now we're going to canter this one. It's blind hill, so I'm going to stop before we get up on the top. Canter. So it's nice and easy. Walk. So you always walk before you get to the top if you're not sure what's going to be up there. And sometimes they do have a truck up here. Okay, now let's try a little saddle gait, and then we got a little hill, and we'll see if he can hold it up that hill or not. Now he's kind of in between a foxtrot and a saddle gait. So I'm going to thump him a little bit with my leg. He's still foxtrotting, so I'm going to try it with the other leg. There we go. So the left leg worked better than the right leg. Now he's trying to canter, so I'm going to slide the bit. Right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand. Now look, he fell into the foxtrot. Not surprised at all, because to get up the hill, he has to engage and get under himself. And that's easier done with the foxtrot. And why would he make his life harder for himself? Because Gaye makes his life hard enough. Okay? His walk is floaty, so I hardly feel like moving at all. It's just wonderful. There's a pretty butterfly. Alright, so he hasn't been up this far. We'll see if he looks at the water tanks. But you see, we really haven't seen anything, but he's good. The spooky ones are spooking at the bushes. He's got, if you prepare him, he's got a good mind. How many times are you going to poop? So there's horses up here, which he doesn't know, so we'll see if he spooks at that. He didn't care about those water tank things. So I just thought of something like to compare when you're, going from regular trotting horses to gaited horses. And the gaited horses are wired different. They do lots of different things. And to get their gaits, again, once you understand all the things you can do to try to get it, it becomes much easier. So cars used to be really easy. You put a key in, ignition, start it up, take the shifter, put it in park, reverse, wherever. And that's what you did, and it's quite easy once you learned. Of course, you had to learn. Well, nowadays, all the cars are different. And so one day I went to move my girlfriend's car. She had it parked in my driveway. She was coming home, so I said, let me move your car. And she gave me the keys. Of course, it doesn't have a metal key. It's got some weird thing on it. And I get in her car. I don't see anything to put that weird... They're not going to help. They're like, don't worry, she comes up here all the time. You're not going to die. So I don't see anything to stick the key in, because sometimes you got to stick it in something. And, all right, it's a little funny whinny. Oh, they're coming over to help you. Too bad you're leaving. So, you know, I knew there's probably a start button because that's how cars are now. So I had to find the start button. So I sat there for minutes, felt like 5 minutes, in her car searching around because it was in a weird spot. It was like on the, not on the like dashboard, but like on the side. And then finally, once I pushed it on, I couldn't figure out how to put it in drive or reverse. I'm like, where are the buttons now? There's no shifter here. So the reason I'm using an example, that's kind of how it goes from going from regular trotting horses to gaited horses. You get on and you're like, I get it, there's reins, there's a saddle, and push it forward. But where are the buttons? Where's the shifter? What do I do? Because it's not like the other horses. So I had to figure out her car. I had to sit there. Then I walked in, told her what an idiot I was. She laughed. She said, it's so easy, it's right there. So let's stop him. He turned a little fast because he wants to go up with those horses and not be by himself because he's a follower. But overall, very good. No rearing, nothing crazy. So that's the same kind of thing. You got to find out where their buttons are. Where's his drive button? Where's the reverse button? Where's the gate button? Where's the second gate button? How do I get in third, fourth, fifth, and sixth gear? That's what you got to learn. And each car is different nowadays, and each gaited horse is different. So you gotta play around. But the person who sold it, or the trainer, there is a trainer, they'll know how to do it, and they'll just tell you. So like with him, if he won't saddle gate, get his head up higher, hit him with your left heel twice in the side, and he popped right into it. They're back there. They might run up behind us. So those are the things you're looking for. It's much easier if somebody can instruct you. Like if she came out to the car and she said, it's right there, and she pointed, and then she goes, it's right there for the drive, and right there for the reverse. It's not that hard, Gaye. I would have been like, oh, it's not. But I didn't know where to look. So the same thing with the gaited horse. You don't know what to do. You got it. It arrives. What do you do with it? You really need someone to show you. Otherwise, you got to play around like I sat in that car. Play around and you got to figure it out. And you're going to hit the wrong buttons. You're just going to sit there. And you're going to be like, he don't gait well. He doesn't gait well at all. Because you're probably hitting the wrong buttons. But once you hit those right buttons, you'll be like, woohoo, this is fun. But the thing is, which buttons did you hit? How hard did you hit them? So how do you get it again? You gotta play around. You gotta be motivated. And the only way is somebody teaches you. You watch my videos, I'll give you all the secrets. But then you gotta play around with that horse and see which button works.